It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja Nima Akashat Zibiri. Otojometa.
Welcome
Your
back.
father been asking, where is Alaja? I said, I don't know. I don't know. How you doing?
I watch the show now, so I'm grateful to God for that opportunity. I'm able to watch. I just want to commiserate, or how do you say it? You condole someone. So YK lost our uncle.
Oh, yes.
And our fan. So we are all grieving.
Number one fan.
This loss together. Our Auntie Sonia's husband passed. I was on the phone with her. She was checking up on my health. And she said, I'm on the train to see my uncle. He's in ICU. So I'm just grateful that she was able to make that trip. And I know that would really...
The
same uncle, yes.
Saw him before.
She saw him before he passed. And so that's important.
That's always a privilege. You will see your loved one before he passes on.
I'm telling you. And congratulations to Morayo.
Thank you. And Tokwe, remember?
No, I've done Tokwe's on before. Yours happened
yesterday.
Yes, number 13.
Journalism.
Number 13.
Yeah, thank you.
On the list. And Tokwe, congratulations on your doctorate.
Thank you.
Dr. Tokwe, how you doing? Dr. Makodige, how you doing?
I'm very
you
good.
branded this. I have to brand it. You know, we
didn't brand our own.
So, no, you don't brand it, I must call you Dr.
Tokwe made the
Tokwe
video.
Makodige.
I was just on Tokwe's page watching.
I already thanked Shola Animation yesterday for the video. So today is, I've been, since yesterday's conversation around pulling down buildings, I had to, it seemed like I was overemphasizing that in my business, I do all the checks. But even at that, I still had 4 to 5 clients yesterday send me a message to say, please, are you sure there's no pipeline around where your land
good,
is?
they are listening.
Are you sure? So I said, well, I check, and I check and check again. So, but I think that the job was done. People are sensitized.
Yes.
But let us be sensitized to seek information, not be paranoid towards real estate companies.
And let's not believe that the due diligence, when it's done, is what deters people. Some people go ahead to buy it, hoping government will waive it. So there's such an history with the Lasu land. Lagos State University had an extension that wasn't supposed to be encroached upon, and the one at the Ojo Barracks.
Right.
If you go there now, people are living there, and out of the laddies of government over time, they've allowed it. I know for the last one has been waived, but for the Ojo Barracks,
they haven't.
in case tomorrow they're demolition.
Go ahead, I'm doing amazing. Go ahead.
Good. So I had a banter. The reason why I had somebody duped my husband 200,000 naira.
Eh?
Yes, on Friday. His name is Oweneze Michael. Now, interesting, if you go to his page, he has been duping a lot of people. So what he did was he called my husband. It hacked into my husband's best friend's phone. I now called and said, I sent a message, said, please, I honestly need you to send 200,000 naira to this person. He's sick. He's dead. I will send the money back to you in 3 hours. My husband didn't even think about it. Just transferred the money. That guy, 3.5 million naira was given to that guy because he had called all his friends, his entire circle. So in one day, the guy went off with 3.5 million. This man called Mr. Michael. Yes, was transferred. All his friends.
But the name on the account?
Yes, Citibank, yeah.
Yes, he should be reported to the police.
Some friends transferred 500K, and that one transferred 700,000. Like different people just transferring money. The guy cashed out 3.5 million naira. I would like to believe that there's got to be a way to trace this person.
Of course, and you have his
name
name already.
On his Facebook, he's a known fraudster.
Nigerian police.
Probably it's probably a fake name. I don't know, but
no, you
can't
have
they will
it
pick
because
the person's account. They will pick up the
He has
person's
a
account. So you have to go through the proper authorities, get to the police, get a lawyer. They'll pick up the person. The person will provide. You receive the money in your account, so you will provide the person that
can use BVN
send someone to put the money.
Even if it's through POS or anything, they can.
Maybe I shouldn't have even mentioned his name on TV.
Yeah, no, but even if he knows, they can use BVN to block. There are legal ways to do this thing. Thank you to BVN. We can block all his accounts.
Right. He's been doing this for a while.
Yes. People don't report. They just maybe
move on and feel it's small money.
Yeah, that's what happened. Because when I checked Facebook, I realized a lot of people say that this guy, if it calls you, don't ever, or if you say an account number like this, don't transfer to it.
Hey.
Really painful.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, that was my banter. I wanted to just make sure I said that.
Very important.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Pay rise coming for health workers, lecturers, and others. Ngige counters Obaseki over no cash to pay salary claim. 1,350 more Nigerians leave Khartoum. Ondo APC suspends 30 for anti-party activities. Strike notice by resident doctors absurd, says minister. Jamb to release UTME results today. Government officials suspended over alleged salary padding. Nigeria's forex reserves lose $1.82 billion. Which story are we starting with?
We can do Jamb. So about 80,000 candidates will write the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, now rescheduled for May 6th. And they said that results will be released starting today, according to Jamb. So there was a statement by the head of Public Affairs and Protocol, Fabian Benjamin. He said the delay for releasing the results were due to screening of the results and candidates who had verified at their centers but could not write the examination, those whose biometrics could not be verified, and those with mismatched data will not get their results, but instead they will get a notification of the rescheduled examinations. So it went ahead to say the board will be releasing the results of candidates who have taken the examination so far. Today, the results were delayed to ensure that all necessary screenings were concluded, besides ensuring that the mean and standard deviation were reasonably obtained before releasing this result. So they are asking that people await to know where they are going to be writing the examinations. So they will be getting their slips, I think, between May 4th and May 5th, so that you know when you're writing for May 6th. And that's the information. Okay,
so very interesting article. Some civil servants across 3 major agencies, that's the MDAs, the ministries, departments, and agencies. I'm trying to get the names of the agencies. That's RAMFAC, Fiscal Allocation, the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission. We know RAMFAC. Also, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and one other undisclosed, and we're not sure why they did not disclose this institution. 3 of these agencies, the civil servants there have been padding. How did they find out? One of the staff had saw a payment slip of a colleague who earned 60,000, just like she does. So that one had 400,000 naira as a salary. And she was wondering, how did you get? They now did the investigation, found that they learned that they suspended some workers because they connived with some officials of the OAGF to pad their salaries by manipulating the IPPIS. That's everything they've been arguing and debating.
And they said it's not perfect.
It's not in here. IPPIS said that an assistant director deployed their own, and an assistant director deployed in the IPPIS unit of the RAMFAC is undergoing probe over the salary padding. It was quite intense. The investigation has started, but it was just this one person that was able to see that somebody was earning almost times 400
when I'm doing
earning. Yeah. And then they raised the alarm, and now investigation is ongoing, and they've actually sacked some of their staff, civil servants, who have been padding for a while. They realized that they've actually been padding for a while. So it's just corruption is at various levels.
Yes, so I have the major headline, and according to the Minister for Labour, Chris Ngige said, Dr. Chris Ngige said that the consolidated public service salary structure will now be extended to cover lecturers, health workers, those who have been protesting in the past months that, it did not cover them. He said that that structure had not been reviewed since it was passed in 2007, January 1. And recently, in 2019, there was a major adjustment of salary structure, but they didn't review it under this government in 2019. And now they've reviewed. The government has yielded to their yearnings and said that 40% peculiar allowance will be given into their remuneration and emolument of core civil servants and other public servants. Some core civil servants within the civil service, in the federal civil service, have already been benefiting from it. But now it will be extended to cover the lecturers, the health workers, and all of those. He mentioned it yesterday at the Labour Day event in Abuja.
Okay.
Let me take the story of the health workers. Ngige said that the demands of the resident doctors is absurd. Ngige, being the Minister for Labour, said that the National Association of Resident Doctors, who wrote a letter to the House of Representatives to withdraw the bill restraining them from being able to travel abroad, also demanded in that letter for a 200% increase in salary. Based on the fact that the government has implemented a 40% increase in pay rise for civil servants. They want it 200% in their salaries. And the minister, Chris Ngige, was like, this is an absurd request. That a lot of the things they're asking for, we've already accepted, we've given you enough things. He also mentioned the fact that he doesn't know why doctors will go on strike. That in developed countries, doctors go on strike for like 3 or 4 days. In Nigeria, doctors go on strike for 9 months and expect that they'll be paid salaries for the month they were on strike. That there is a law that the minister said he has never implemented, but he had to implement it to bring a bit of sanity to the health sector, that you cannot go on strike and expect that you will get paid. And he also mentioned that they've given the NAD, that's resident doctors, everything they want, including a residency training program fund, which pays people while they are still training. That hasn't been done anywhere else in the world, that they've done enough transportation, examination fees, pay their, give them allowance, including full salary, that no other country in the world does it, but Nigeria is doing it, that they should stop making this absurd requests.
Okay, the Punch. Tinubu promises tough decisions. NLC demands new retirement age. NAD fumes as Ngigi condemns doctors' entitlement mentality. Subsidy salary payment unlikely after June, says Governor Obaseki. Police, DSS, INEC joint panel invites suspended Adamawa wreck. Motorists stranded as flood takes over Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Long Bridge. Lawless naval ratings brutalized Ogun man over parking space. Senate presidency, Akpabio meets Buhari, defends ambition. Sudan, Egypt opens border for stranded Nigerians. Okay.
Human interest story. A middle-aged man, Okpeyemi Olaleye, was brutalized by some naval ratings because they had an altercation. So what happened was that particular day he went to a viewing center to watch football match at about 9 p.m. He was just there settling into the match when he heard somebody screaming outside, "Who owns this vehicle? Come and take your vehicle out." And so he left to, see what was happening. When he got there, he realized it was his vehicle that the man was, screaming to and raising, cursing the owner of the vehicle. So he went to him and said, "Oga, please don't insult the owner of the vehicle. Now there's space for you to move your bike away." And the man started insulting him. They had an altercation. And afterwards, he apologized to him, but he refused. He, when he was walking away, he jumped at him through the back. Some people came out and separated them, and he felt it was okay. But the guy was still very upset. That's the naval rating. And then he called, called somebody. Before they realized it, about 20 of them came in their different bikes, and they started beating this man up, beat him, took him to his barracks, beat him seriously. He was almost at the point of fainting. They poured water on him and pushed him out. So they had damaged one of his eyes. He was bleeding till 2, I think, from the center came to rescue him, and then they took him to the police station. But the police said, this matter is not our matter. You have to go to the hospital first and then come back to make a report. So he's gone to the hospital. He's back to make the report. The spokesperson for the Nigerian Navy has spoken of, said they have arrested all naval ratings involved in this. They are going to investigate it.
We have to go on a break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I'm going to take Governor Obaseki's story. So yesterday he was speaking just like most governors. He was reaffirming his commitment. You might do it like this. But I'll tell you what one of my favorite governors said. He said, reaffirming his commitment to workers. He said that he last year increased their minimum wage to 40,000. He's surprised that a year after no other state government has done the same, that he, and boldly say, he's the highest paying governor for workers in the country. Yes, he said no other governor has increased minimum wage to 40,000.
Minimum wage.
With his full chest. He also said that it would be a miracle if the federal government is able to pay salaries after June 2023, because obviously, to be a miracle, because the only way they can do it is either they print extra money or remove subsidy.
Wow.
That the burden of these removal shouldn't be borne by only the workers alone. That should be shared across top to bottom. So if they're going to be doing these reforms, everybody should be stakeholders, should be shareholders in this new reform that is necessary, that is inevitable. But however, he's proud to say that he has been one of those who has supported workers, their growth, their development, and is one of the highest paying governors. Please, I believe you.
Last year,
I believe you.
Last year he increased minimum wage, but we are okay. Governor, thank you. As long as they pay allocation from the federal account, please pay salaries. I wanted to take Punch, yes, the flood. So Long Bridge along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was flooded, and according to the Punch, video surfaced of, they couldn't find the source of the videos, but somebody made videos showing how high the water has been. And some weeks back, that happened on the Odoyalaro and the Ikorodu Road in Lagos. This is where I wanted to call on the local government. There's one small machine. We live in some areas. We buy this machine,
engineer,
and he puts there and pump water out. So this is not state government. Any local government within that area can have it and have its boys employ people to just, use it at the time to decongest, to reduce the water and make people be able to pass. Somebody said he got to the Long Bridge at 4 p.m. and didn't leave there till 6:31 p.m. because of the traffic caused by that flood. It's small thing for local government. Give boys work. This is not really hard like that.
You're right. Absolutely.
Machine itself is not 100,000. Can buy
Daily
this
Sun.
I know, but I still have a
story. You have a story in Punch.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, just a quick update on the Adamawa wreck situation. Apparently, a panel has been set up. So for everyone that is wondering what's going on, the spokesperson for the police, for the First Criminal Investigation Department, Fumi Egunje, confirmed the development that there is a joint panel comprising of the police, DSS, and INEC that have now invited the suspended wreck. They've written a letter. The Punch paper hasn't been able to confirm if he has showed up yet, but they know that he has been invited by the panel. We remember this is the INEC official, the wreck for Adamawa said that declared the APC candidate, the governor, before all the votes were counted.
Daily Sun, Sudan, Egypt opens borders for fleeing Nigerian students. I'll fight until I regain my mandate, says Peter Obi. Mayday. Tinubu promises workers goodies. Police trail kidnappers of 2 Catholic priests in Delta. 10th National Assembly. Senate leadership frustrates plans to alter their own rules. Workers hail Uzodinma back his second-term bid. National Assembly members must regain, alert, reject grazing reserve bill, says Otom.
Major headline. So Egyptian authorities has opened the borders for Nigerian students evacuated from Sudan. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, chairperson of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, made the disclosure, and she said the border was opened after the president, that's our president, President Muhammadu Buhari, spoke with Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the Egyptian president. Also said that the borders are still closed. Before that, the borders were closed despite the arrival of the Nigerian Air Force. And, NIDCOM had said that the Air Force must not leave any students behind. They are going to take all the students. But after our president spoke to the president of Egypt, they have, opened their borders, however, with stringent conditions. And she said that she will not give the details on the conditions. But one of the things we heard was the fact that they had been requesting for visa for them to be able to pass Egypt. But however, the evacuation has been going on. I think they've done about 90% already. And most of the people who have been evacuated are, mostly from the north. Like most of the students in Sudan are mostly from the north. And they've been using their state of origin to determine where to take them to.
Okay.
Police in Delta State are on the trail of 2 kidnappers of 2 Reverend Fathers. So Reverend Father Chochos Kunav and Reverend Father Raphael Ogigba were on their way to Ugeli in Delta State to visit a friend. So one had even visited the other, and both of them decided to visit another Reverend, and on their way they were kidnapped by these hoodlums. And the police in Delta State assures Deltas and assures Nigerians that they are on the trail of the kidnappers, and they believe they are still within the state and that they will be found, and they hope to rescue the priest, unhurt and arrest the hoodlums. I hope that that's the way the narrative goes. I don't want a delay in the rescue operation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I want to take the story of Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Nwanyi. Today, he will be handing over the Enugu Medical Diagnostic Center to the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, it's NSIA, and they also will be signifying the launch of Equilease system. This is the Equilease system limited is a leasing system that will be used by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority to provide lease health diagnostic facility machines to different communities or community centers that are affiliated to the NSIA. So this is the first flag off of this event. The Enugu Medical Diagnosis Center is being handed over to NSIA. The Health Commissioner explained the transfer of this center would help signpost the commencement of the NSIA's healthcare expansion program. They would be providing 23 new medical diagnostic centers of excellence around the country, 2 oncology centers, 6 characterization medical laboratories around the country, pointing that Enugu would be the first to operate within the southeastern region of the country. But we're looking forward to the oncology because Nigeria has cases of cancer and we don't have enough medical facilities to be able to take care of this. So this is good news for those within that area.
So there's a bit of a tussle in the National Assembly. So they have said that they are going to adhere to the standing order. This is about who becomes principal officers. So according to them, there are some people who are new senators-elect who believe that they're trying to argue the fact that the standing orders only gives opportunities for certain types of senators to run for principal positions. So for example, the Standing Order 3, Rule 2 of the Senate Standing Order says that senators who are returning based on the number of times they've been re-elected, senators who have been members of the House of Representatives before, and senators elected as senators for the first time. Well, no, those ones can't, actually. So these new senators-elect, like, let me give you the name of some of them. Maybe you have an idea who is causing this issue. David Umahi, Adams Oshomole, Abdulaziz Yari, and others. They are the new senators-elect. They are the ones contesting the standing order. If we are new people, can't we also run for principal offices? There's what that order that says, can't we, why is it ordered there? Let us. So they are questioning that, but others, those who have been there before, say, we have how we do things. There's a rule. Don't come and scatter it. I don't know which one of the new ones are scattering is.
He has been known to test anything. But Oshomole is known to test it.
No, nah.
But I think
I didn't mention Oshomole's name.
You did.
I said there are 3 people. One of them, we don't know who. Is one questioning them.
We need experience. We need experience.
They don't want to respect the standards.
Anyways, we need experience.
Anyway, let's move on quickly to Vanguard.
You will go and test it.
Luta continua. Vanguard Mayday. Halt last-minute looting. Labour urges Buhari. All markets, Nigeria's average output drops by 7.6%. Gridlock, Lagos approves e-call-up system for Lekki deep sea port. Troops rescue pregnant Chibok school girl. UTME Jamb fixes Saturday for candidates who missed exam. Cancer scare, we took that story. Why we banned importation of Indomie noodles? Oh, we haven't. Police panel invites suspended Adamawa wreck. Egypt opens borders for Nigerian students fleeing Sudan, says federal government. And Mayday, we're committed to workers' welfare, says governors. Okay, story.
Lagos e-call-up system. So according to the Commissioner for Transportation in Lagos, Dr. Frederick Olade, the Lagos State is looking at an e-call-up system for the deep sea port in Lekki and Ekpe Free Trade Zone. And it's supposed to help prevent what we are going through in Apapa by decongesting. So they had a high-profile meeting with top government functionaries, Ministry of Transportation representatives, the Lekki Worldwide Investment Limited, the Lagos Free Trade Zone, the Lekki Deep Sea Port, and Mesa's call-up technologies. I guess that's the consultant who will be working with the call-up system to help ensure that from the Eleko junction to the Lekki Free Trade Zone, there will be a formal arrangement that does not allow the parking and the congestion. That
and the question we're asking is it the same call-up that they used? It's not
doesn't look like it. It was.
I know that they tried to clarify for us, but we're not sure.
And the essay to the governor on transport, Honorable Sholagiwa, was saying they are doing everything to prevent a similar occurrence in Lekki.
Fantastic.
As what has happened.
So noodles or Indomie. So the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, that's Nafdac, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, has said that the agency has started investigating and responding immediately to the news of the recalled Indomie noodles by Taiwan and Malaysian authorities. So they went ahead to say that the compound of interest actually is ethylene oxide, and they are trying to work on the methodology for the analysis. They went ahead to also say that Indomie noodles has been banned for many years in Nigeria, so it doesn't have Nafdac number. But because of these new developments, they are going to monitor the markets to be sure that people are not smuggling to bring Indomie in, and then make sure that they do not have.
I'm confused. Which Indomie are they talking about? Not the one that was saying eating. No.
So
Yes,
it's on the list of the imported ones, not the ones produced here. Yes, it's on the list of things not to import.
Right.
But you know how we smuggle our taste
And we like
foreign things, so we still find a way to bring it in. So we need to be very careful about those foreign noodles smuggled in. They are not, according to Nafdac, they are being investigated.
That is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, a gentleman many Nigerians know as Reno Amokri has actually posted something that caught our attention. According to him, he says that let me just read his tweet exactly. He was specifically saying that he proposed that Nigeria bans the importation and sale of human hair. According to him, he was saying that Nigeria loses a lot of foreign exchange due to importation of human hair. He also called for the ban on bleaching creams. But this now stirs up a conversation about other things that we import into our country, because something Governor Baseki said in the papers struck my mind, that it's a collective responsibility. All of us, if we want to build our economy, then it's something we all have to do across board. But however, somebody will say that there's a demand. Obviously, somebody will take the opportunity to sell, so that there is a business opportunity, and it's also helping to develop the economy of Nigeria. What's your take on this? On his perspective as regards the importation of goods, not just human hair or bleaching creams, but so many other items that we import in this country. What are your thoughts? You can share your comments on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet it to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweet. I own human hair. I'm not wearing it right now. I buy it because I like it. But he's saying that we are losing money when we import these items. Just in fact, people are making millions by selling human hair. And it's an opportunity for us to discuss the pros and cons for this kind of business. Let me let you start, Nima.
Why not?
No,
because I will agree with Reno anyway on this one. I totally agree with him. And I'm just reading what he said in totality. I think if you read it, you cannot but agree. You know, he went on the health side, he went on the economic side. He thinks that, you know, depleting our foreign reserves for these products that are dangerous to our people and adds to the complexities, or what will you call it? The complex of each human, by giving women the inferiority complex. And I totally agree that these products, especially the human hair, make women look funny. African women, personally, it just turns me off. I talk about it a lot. And he went on the cream side and how the Bangladeshi community are getting enriched, selling these products to us. Now, we are dealing with health issues as well. You know, we don't know how the processing of these products go in. If we must at all use them, can they be made to make us look as if we have dignity in the way God has made us? That's number one. Number two, if we must at all use any of these foreign bleaching products and products that change our nature the way God has made us, can it at least be made here so that we keep the money home? You know, one lot and all of those kind of things. We have those principles. We do so much. You know, just before that, we went on the topic, Topper was like, what do we now produce? Even the clothes we're wearing, fabrics and all of them are no longer produced here. See where it has brought us.
Okay, we'll come
You know,
to that.
weak currency.
You want to come and jump in here?
Yeah, so for me, I like the conversation on us going within, using local, you know, producing what we eat, what we wear, how we wear it, everything. I like that conversation, and it's a conversation that I am a proponent of. However, I like to have it holistically. I don't like to be a hypocrite because there are certain things I do not like, and the ones I like, I throw away my face and feel, okay, this is okay. This is not harming me. This one is better. And then I sit on a judgment throne and judge the things I do not like and condemn them without even understanding the reasons behind why people do what they do and why people tilt to that direction. If we have to look at importing, banning importation in total, we are banning everything. We are not really producers. We're a consuming nation. We will ban to toothpick. We will ban floss. We don't make it here. We will ban everything that we are using. The phones we are using, do you make it here? You don't produce your phones. The phone you are using to type, ban this and ban that and ban, you don't produce the phone. So let's have a holistic conversation. Call people to the table and say, okay, how can we do this, this, and this? Do we have manufacturers that we can look into this industry? Okay, what are the needs of our women? They say they want to lighten. Can they do it naturally? I'm into a cosmetic industry as well, and I'm producing body oils for my kitchen, and they are all locally sourced. Nobody called me to have a conversation that, auntie, this thing you're doing, I would like to support you. You're trying to grow our economy. But you sit down, you buy your champagne in your room, you drink it, it's imported. You eat your noodles, like we had today, is imported. You eat your sardines that are imported. You wear the finest laces and abaya that is imported, and then you condemn because you don't like the hair and say this is where our money is going to. Right. Of course, that's not all we import here.
All right, so some will say, I mean, we all know that the United States is the largest importer of goods, second by China and Germany, and these are economies that have been built
huge
on some of these things. But how do we understanding where revenue is coming from? Because the truth is that we're not the United States. We are still trying to build. We don't have anything to boast of right now. I mean, we have a few things we do boast of, but we are still trying to build ourselves. Where do we find a middle ground, Tokwe? What are your thoughts, and how do we find a middle ground?
So there would always be the naturalist. There would always be those that I would be like, I'll go for luxury no matter what it is. And even the United States you just quoted, they complain about having trade deficits, which means that they are getting in more, they are spending more money importing than they are exporting. I think the real issue is not to point fingers at where the problem is, but to find solutions within. Yeah. It is to boost our production. Nigeria isn't producing. That's our biggest problem. Our problem is not that we are importing, is that we are not producing enough. Everything we produce goes out as raw, and then we bring it in as processed. Refined. And that is the problem. I watched, there's a particular analogy I saw online. He said a bar of stainless steel will probably cost $100. He said, if you break that bar down into spoons, you buy that spoon, it'll be like $200. If you break it down and turn it into jewelry, you probably buy that same bar of stainless steel, it will become $1,000. But if you use the stainless steel to do special things in the wristwatch, the price value of it goes even higher. The moment we as a country look inwards and start thinking about processing our production, like refining our production, not just exporting raw materials, then we are adding value. Then the deficit would even out. You cannot stop people from their life. You cannot stop them from consuming things that they are used to consuming. What you can do is to provide them viable alternatives within Nigeria. I did not know, before they banned rice, I have found a viable alternative with eating rice within Nigeria. Yeah. We should stop trying to stop Nigerians from bringing in things. Provide alternatives within Nigeria, make it more affordable, make the Nigerian products more competitive, make the foreign one have taxes that will make it impossible for people to buy. Then you are talking about a viable solution.
Because there's always that part of I would not always blame the middle class. And we are the ones that have these, we are the ones looking for we're the ones bringing these things into our country. We're not allowing our country to develop at its own pace. We went to a store recently, and they're saying that they're paying in dollars. I said, excuse you, they're paying in dollars. You come to in Nigeria, a store in Nigeria, and you enter, you pay in dollars. And I'm thinking to myself, so that sounds luxurious, you know, very luxurious, paying dollars. But how does it affect our economy? If you're getting Nigerians to be, so these are conversations that are hard to have. When we're going to break, we'll come back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm told I have a caller, Abubakar from Kogi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're live.
Yes, please, I want to just contribute to the topic people are discussing. Problem with this our country is that, like in Islam, it said contentment.
Contentment.
You lack contentment in this country. If you are contented with what you have, God who made me, God will give you the brain to develop. Like all those cosmetic and other things, we can do our own locally. But even we are like that, want to change your skin, that local we can do it. Maybe to adopt men or something, just local, but we lack contentment to what we have. So I pray that our military elect should encourage local production. All those importation, it should stop it. Whether we like it or not, with time we will be used to it. People that can be shouting, all those things, the local one is costly, outside one is more durable, it's less costly. Yes, by the time we started it, this will now become down, then the cost will be reducing. But if the state and the output is coming, the state will, what you get will increase. But,
you know, Nigerians are generally good people, and when they see something affordable, they will take it. I always, when we talk about stuff like this, I remember HITV, High TV. ITV came at a time where the Nigerian system was not ready for it. We had DSTV then, and then we came in with this property of the Premier League. Nigerians like, oh, this is our own indigenous. Many people switched. But unfortunately, that DSTV came with a nation backing it. Their banking system was backing their industry, such that they could get funds from the country to buy as much property. Then our banking system wasn't even recapitalized enough to support that kind of a business. So it was a Nigerian who saw an opportunity, brought it in, tried to do the Nigerian version of it. But our system could not support it. I'm just saying that's part of the issue. So even if I want to produce internally, for example, I'm making gari internally, sometimes we don't have enough system to help us expand it, to process it to the various levels at this time. So I'll continue to import the goods. I'm going to pay for DSTV.
The president-elect, when he talked something local, he went on, our foods out, and they made it a meme, or what did they call it, online, and you get, is it for Gary, is it for Eba? But the truth is, Gary, just as Miriam said yesterday, is not Garium, it's not Gary Flakes, it's not cassava, it is Gary. It is what it is. The Chinese Exim Bank sponsors China to all the countries where they go. When they give the loan, the Chinese get the employment. And we are looking at it, we are sitting down. You understand? When we come here and we talk about, Reno was even the one, Reno wrote it in his message, and how the Nigerian music took over the world. It was somebody's insistence. He said the President Obasanjo's regime, working with Bemurebu's first Nigerian content. And I remember there was one radio station that time. Even the accent, I could not follow.
But now they are making more money from
they're making more money from the local content. And we are looking at it. You see, when we say that there's a demand and so it must be met, the businessmen have not come inside yet. It's the small businessmen who think, okay, let's just import it and enjoy it. When you go into production, you own the entire system. You are not doing small. You are the owner of the entire system. I've tested it with rice. From the milling, from the buying of paddy, everything. I've tested it.
Okay, let me take this.
And we can do that, and we can actually empower more people, our own people. And let's not be ashamed. If it is still the process of gari from mud pots to fry pan and all of that, that the process produces that product, let's own it. It's our own way of technology first, before we jump and be jumping everywhere.
Absolutely. Let me take
we want to buy it when we own it.
Let me take it from Olu. Olu is calling from Igondo. You're live.
Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to correct one judgment about what Dr. said about we can produce and allow the foreign to come in. Due to our nature in Nigeria, Buhari did one thing. If it's not because of the bandit or whatever, I am support of the people that, issue of rice producing in Nigeria. If the federal government gives the fund to Nigeria for a loan to produce rice and open border, Nigeria will bring foreign rice. They will not produce one single bag. Because we like foreign goods. Nigeria will never produce. We will all import. We take over 500 billion to the silent economy. Now,
good. I wanted to hear him.
2 million Nigerians in tourist family. So, Nigeria needs to wake up. We should create jobs, not only government. We need to create a job for our nation. We have a good things. We have a good product here that we can bring up. Look at during the Obasanjo era, dollar really have to move to Singapore because all these food deals there was chemical. But Obasanjo stop it. Look at the all the licenses, whatever we are taking today, and Nigerian products.
Thank you very much, Olu. Come on to talk about because this appetite we have for foreign goods.
Yeah, there will always be people that would do foreign goods. You can't stop them from doing foreign goods. We live in a democracy. We live in a free system. What you would do is profit from their thirst for foreign goods. A government that is thinking would find a way to put enough excise duties, taxes on those foreign goods that you will make it. If you really want to buy that basmati rice, if you still
people are still buying it.
How have they done it for champagne? See, so there is a part of policy. Policies are very important. Creating an enabling environment is very important. Everybody can quote what former Governor President Obasanjo did because we knew there was a change in that time. I've had opportunity to talk to business owners, the owner of Biloxi Biscuits, and he spoke about the fact that the Obasanjo made the environment conducive, had meetings. Whenever any goods are stocked, you can send a text message to special advisor and your goods be released so that you can continue production. And just a few years back, he had to shut down the factory just because they didn't have raw materials. It was stuck at the port. So we cannot wish away enabling environment and the government being willing to provide that enabling environment. We don't have that right now.
But can we curb our own appetite for these? Because I hear you. There's a part of government which we know, but also compelling competition. Biloxi is a locally made biscuit, and they came up as a compelling opposition for all the other crackers. And guess what? It became a norm and it was in schools, in offices. They took over. Yeah. Why? Compelling opposition and the government support. So you cannot be pointing hand and saying that the government should ban when there is no compelling opposition. It's like saying remove subsidy and do this one. There is no compelling opposition. Ban rice. We didn't have enough compelling opposition, so people were still smuggling it in. If we had enough locally produced rice, everywhere you turn, you are seeing local rice, and it's cheap. You would not want to go and meet. Let me take this, James. James, you're live.
Okay, yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yes, the lady in white talked about the phones we use being imported, and that's the same phone we also used to ask the government to stop importation. I wanted to react to this. I'm aware that there was a time that Mr. President launched a phone that was made in Nigeria. What has happened to that phone? How come nobody is hearing about anything about that phone again? I just remember.
It was coupled in Nigeria. I didn't get that.
It was made here. It was by some young tech.
So let me say something.
I wanted to respond to. Let her respond to.
So Tope was saying, you cannot control the taste of your people. But when we go to China, we eat what their governments have controlled. We know countries in the world. Only a few countries practice democracy the way we twist it to understand it here.
China is not democracy.
But only a few. I said only a few countries. The Malaysians and all of those countries we visit, and we follow what they eat and they consume, what they produce in their countries. We allot them when we come back here. If you give that alternative, there's taste and luxury, it will continue to be the thing of class. That, oh, no, it wasn't bought here. It's a mentality thing. And Reno is going to the mentality. He's talking about people's mindsets, complex, inferiority, superiority complex. He's going to continue to control market forces here.
May I pause you?
But just a moment, you can disagree when I'm done. You can, but you must shut and force your people to look within.
Yeah. Really?
You must, that's government, that's regulation.
Okay,
if you want to regulate chemicals in production, the production is not taking place here, how can you regulate?
Yes.
You will ban and they will
pause
smuggle.
you on Reno. I didn't want to go there, but he married a white person. Why didn't he look local? Why didn't he look within to pick somebody from here? Are you telling us that we are not finding
His wife not affect our economy.
I'm sure. Hold on. No.
His choice of wife have not affected my economy.
You cherry pick the one you think.
Yeah.
You're not an economist.
His choice of wife have not affected my economy.
You are not an economist. You don't know the bride price that was paid in dollars. What are you talking about?
Don't marry the dough. How has that affected the economy?
Now. He married a white person.
Let's not get distracted.
I'm sure in his house, he eats with all those Chinese plates and everything. I'm sure there are foreign equipment in his house. His decor will definitely be foreign. He did not buy any local thing in his house. But that's the point I'm trying to make. You cannot sit down and cherry pick. So let's take away the elites in the first place. Let's move them to one corner. Let's talk about the masses. We do not have enough purchasing power. Everybody wants something that's affordable.
100%.
When we started saying, okay, we don't want to eat foreign rice, for instance, we went to the market. I've been eating local rice for as long as I can remember. But the local rice was more expensive by the time we started buying it than the foreign rice. Yeah. So because I can afford a local one and I want to be patriotic, does not mean that my next door neighbor can afford that. Then we go for the cheaper one. So what is the government's role in ensuring that we make it affordable for everybody? Right. See, we like good things and we like our own. Nigerians are the only Africans that travel outside the country and they wear the Ankara. Even the Ankara is not done here. We do not have companies that produce it here. The Adira's silk now that everybody is wearing is not done here. It's imported. People have seen the inadequacies of government. I'm sorry, my darling. Inadequacies of government, and they're cashing into that thing. So government needs to empower those local producers, support them so that they flood the market and then give people a chance. That's one way. I
have a call. I'm holding for you.
We're on the same page.
Wait, I'm coming. Let me tell you. Good morning, Sheon. Are you there? Let me give you paper so you don't forget.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
You're live.
Great job you're doing.
Thank you.
I don't usually blame government, but on this one, I would put the blame on government. I remember during Obasanjo's era, our Ankara was out. But I don't know what he did. He brought that Ankara back, that our local, art. So I think we should do the same. What we did for entertainment, we should do it for other things. And the government should provide electricity, heat, production a lot. The government should do that for us. And we are people. You see, though, we have that, foreign appetite. Even if you take our local stock and you tell someone that, this thing is foreign, the person will still buy. But let us provide that alternative. We cannot be banning everything. We can't ban everything. Let us provide the alternative.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we've heard repeatedly the part of the government, the importance of policy, how government must create an enabling environment. But I have always been a proponent of we the people. We need to choose, do we want a country, do we really want to develop our economy as a people? Are we part of this transition that we're looking to get, which is what Governor Obaseki was trying to say, that we the people must part of. Yes, we don't trust government a lot of times. So, but at what point do we say, you know what, I am not going to buy custard what's a foreign one? Buy a certain foreign cereal. I'm going to choose to buy a local one. At what point does do we make that sacrifice? I choose not to use these foreign clothes. I choose to wear this one, even if they're just few. At what point do we begin to say we're not going to use? So that's a part of where do we come in this whole picture? Do we continue to wait for government to make that policy and force us, or make a deliberate and intentional decision to choose within?
And what I know from Nigerians' history is importers frustrate local markets so that their markets can take over, their goods can take over markets. So we as Nigerians need to stop all those one-man empowerment policies where, it's my business, I must grow my business no matter what it's at stake.
The closest person to presidency.
Yes, and then you be the one getting the waivers. You bring in your importation, but you get waivers. And the local business, Tokwe mentioned Biloxi. Obasanjo empowered businesses then, gave moratoriums on taxes so that businesses could grow. MTN had over 10 years moratorium on taxes so that they could grow here. And we provided that technology, and people are enjoying it today. But when a businessman is coming up today, that's when your local government will come and show up. They'll start taxing and frustrate that businessman back into business, into his house. Biloxi now had to shut down because his importation could not get, and his goods are stuck at the ports. Those are some of the little tiny things that government must do, which is why I agree with, said BC was agreeing. Government has so much role to play, but we Nigerians, how do we see ourselves? This colonial mentality, we don't see it how when our kids are inheriting it. Taste, lifestyle, everything that is locally here. If somebody is consuming local now, it's too local. If the person wears a local look, the person is too local. If you show up at a party where everybody is laced up in an Ankara, you are dressed down. Except it is the uniform of the party.
Even Ankara is imported.
Even though it is imported, it's called cheaper fashion. We don't want to see our own, and own it. Before they honor Adire, they had to be Nika Art Gallery to over Adire's. Before they honored it, we had belittled everything that carried our history. And Africa cannot move forward without Nigeria moving forward.
Let me come to you.
We have to do something. Yeah. Nigerians have to get our superior mentality on point.
Well, you see, I hear you. The foreign mentality. I've cracked this joke or said this many years ago, that in the early days of my marriage, my husband used to support dreadlocks. No, not dreadlocks. Natural hair. He's like, Mara, you look nice, like naturally. And I used to just wear my hair naturally. I didn't care. Just for one day, I saw my husband on TV, watching TV. He was watching Kiniko Kardashians. He was like, see how Kim fine. I see her hair. He was drooling over Kardashian. I said, this uncle that says that I should not go and wear weave-on. I thought maybe he hated weave-on. He was now talking about Kim Kardashian. Big girl, you're hot. Going to ring her hair. Kia. Before they said, I went to go and look for a job. Who's selling wig here? I went to go and buy a wig because our appetite, what we've seen as beauty, what we've seen as luxury, as what we have seen, whether we like it or not. So we've passed that level. We're at a stage we're at that stage where we have that foreign appetite. Okay. What do we now do to retrace our steps?
So it's not a crime to have a foreign appetite. And let us stop deceiving ourselves to believe that everybody is equal in the society. You cannot have people equal in the society. There are people who have put in the work, who have earned the right to desire some exotic things. Somebody like an Otedola now or a Dangote, you will not tell them that you have to eat local rice. It's by force. To be a patriot, you have to eat local rice. You will be deceiving yourself. They will import it. And that's why I would agree with Tokwe to say what other countries have done is those things that you are importing, fire them with high tax so that we know that it's people at a certain level will be able to afford it. Now, what I also see is the ojukokoro of our nature. There are people who know that they have not gotten there, but they are doing whatever it takes to be able to eat those things and wear those things. Stay at your level, grow at your pace, and when government is able to flood the market, hold on, it's not about complex. No, it's not about complex. Now, it's about understanding that I cannot afford to use an iPhone right now. I'll be able to use this and this and this at my level. And it's okay too.
I have to pause because I'm told that our Director General of Nafdac, Professor Mojisolade, is already on the call. She's quite busy. We wanted to bring her in to discuss what we heard concerning Indomie noodles, the investigation that is ongoing. Good morning, madam. Are you there? Hello? Hello, madam. I think we lost her for a minute. I'm trying to see if we can get her back because I know she has to be somewhere else, but we want to get the update directly from her on what they're doing as they are investigating and sampling of Indomie noodles. So while we're getting her back, let me let you finish.
Yes, so let me just finish up. So you say because we want to make this policy and everybody must eat local, you, the government, you are not using innocent cars. You are ordering cars from other countries to show that status, and then you want to make a policy for every other person. It doesn't work that way. We're going to look at it holistically. Ask ourselves, what items do we need to begin to produce? How do we support these local manufacturers in the country and see how it goes? It's gradual. Before you know it, everybody is picking up and say, okay, I'd rather use this product because it's made in my country. It's not something you force on people.
Let me force you. Let me pause you. I somewhat disagree, but let me take Prof. She's here. She has to go back. Good morning, Prof. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for inviting me.
So one of the reasons why we're having this conversation is because we heard of the sampling that Nafdac is doing for Indomie noodles concerning the possibility of a cancer-causing substance. Please give us an update on this.
Thank you very much. First of all, we are not searching our companies to look for the cancer-causing agent in any of our companies. The Taiwan, Malaysian, Indomie have nothing to do with Nigeria. Taiwan and Malaysia, Indomie have nothing to do with Nigeria. Nigeria government banned Indomie noodle importation many years ago. It is on the Nigeria Customs prohibition list.
Wow.
Anybody can check that out. Indomie has been banned by the Nigerian government, and the purpose is to encourage local manufacturing of Indomie. So we have local manufacturers that we have registered for production of Indomie for many years now.
Okay. So
and that we have tested their product safe.
Oh, fantastic. It's important for us to have this clarity because you're saying that there are two types of Indomie. There are those ones that have been imported, which is actually banned. But the ones locally produced are safe for consumption.
Very safe.
Fantastic. That was what Nigerians needed to hear.
Very safe for consumption. Okay. But as a regulatory agent...
Hello, madam. Are you there? So it's frozen. Okay. Well, look, I know you can't say anything right now. Hello, madam. Are you there? Okay, we'll try to get her back, but we wanted to really get that update to be sure that
because
the one we are consuming, but we'll still get more clarity. We're trying to get her connected back. But Tope had... oh, she's still talking. There, hello, madam. We lost you for a moment.
Sorry.
Let me let...
Okay, yes. What I was saying was that our local manufacturers have safe Indomie.
Right.
That was why we registered them. Okay. However, to be on the safe side, we are going through the market, taking samples, going through the production facilities, getting samples, just to be sure that there is nothing to worry about.
Okay.
But the locally produced Indomie is safe. However, we have to ensure that everything is the way we expect them to be.
All right, let me get a few more questions. Go ahead.
Indomie is a brand of noodles, and there are several other brands in Nigeria as we speak. Are you doing the same?
Actually, we are not stopping at the chicken flavor alone. We are doing sampling of other flavors and other Indomie.
That's for the Indomie brand. We have other noodles brands that are in the country. And are you doing the same for them as well?
Yes, exactly. We are checking all the noodles companies and taking samples from them.
Okay. So it's not just Indomie as a brand, because people always just assume that.
No. Exactly. Not the Indomie as a brand. Yeah.
Okay, so this report is being a confirmation of a fear that many Nigerians have. And even though you have said that the locally produced noodles from Indomie is safe for consumption, it doesn't have this particular chemical. Is it that Nafdac has confirmed through tests that this chemical that Thailand flagged does not exist in our locally produced Indomie noodles?
Again, that's a good question. We are not leaving any stone unturned. We are going to check all the samples that we're taking for the ethylene oxide to be sure that it is not there. Oh. So it's part of our regulatory control, just to be sure that it is not there. It can, very likely it was introduced through the spices that are used for the different noodles in Taiwan, Malaysia. And we are doing all the testing just to assure the public that our locally produced noodles are safe.
What was ethylene oxide on the radar of things that Nafdac used to watch out for before?
It was not on the radar.
Okay. Oh.
It was never on the radar.
Okay.
I don't think it was on the radar
Right.
for the other countries, but
Right.
for Nafdac, it was not on the radar. But we're going to test it and make sure that it's not there.
Fantastic. Now, let me move quickly to malaria, because I know there was you're seeking registration for the approval for R21 malaria vaccine. Tell us about that. What's the update on that?
Well, the update on that is that we are working very hard to start the clinical trial. We have put the team from academia, from the universities together. It has given, it is giving us opportunity to actually collaborate with our academia, where we have the brains that we will combine with the brains in Nafdac to produce a good team. And once we get all those clinical trial protocol together and approved for use, we will start using this for children under 3.
Prof, Nigerians are not happy that Ghana beat us to this, so we should have done this ahead of them. It's not Ghana and Benye.
Abi? Yes, but at least, you know what?
Still Africa.
Ghana is not even on the list of the top 4 countries with malaria.
Wow.
Okay.
Nigeria tops the list, 31%.
Wow.
Okay.
So the fact that we have approved it is drawing a lot of attention now.
Okay. Okay.
Because Nigeria is about 1/5 of the whole of Africa.
Right.
And for that 1/5 of the whole of Africa to approve the vaccine is a big deal. And we are hoping that we're going to get good results and our children will be better protected.
Thank you so much. Let me let you go at this time, but thank you so much, Professor Adeye, for giving us an update on this. We needed to just hear from you directly.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dr. Let me come back to you. We're discussing this importation of foreign goods, or appetite for foreign goods, and I know you had a position you wanted to take earlier.
So when we discuss about enabling environments, we talk about Nigerians' appetite for foreign things, we tend to talk about it from our own perspective and our ecosystem. But Nigeria is bigger than the 100 or 1,000 people that each of us know. And for every time you go outside Lagos or outside the cities, they don't even see those. Majority of Nigerians cannot even buy those foreign goods. So we're judging the entire country based on a few, like 5% or 10% of the population. The majority of Nigerians are still finding it tough to buy locally. The yams are expensive. We remember last year, there was a time when people were buying half tubers of yam. They were cutting yams into pieces for people to buy. So we're talking that this is locally produced in Nigeria, and yet it is expensive. So when Reno sits on the side of the world where he is and comments on Nigerian economy, I would like him to have a conversation with Nigeria Bureau of Statistics and be quoting Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. I've engaged with them and I've realized that we wrongfully judge them like they don't have data. They do. It is us that don't have data. We are judging Nigeria based on our circle as opposed to judging Nigeria based on the number. And if you look at the number, majority of Nigerians are still in a major struggling space. So they're not buying the human hair.
At all.
The majority of Nigerians are not buying human hair. They're not buying the foreign goods. It's few buying the foreign goods. But and when they go to the market to buy foreign, it is not because it is foreign, it's because it is cheaper.
And durable.
It is because it is cheaper, Muraya. When you go to the store, you are looking, you carry a tin, the one they write made in Nigeria, and a tin is 600 and something naira. And you see the one that is written in Indonesia, and it's 200 naira. Nobody would give you, nobody would teach you which one to pick. I was buying coconut milk, I wanted to buy coconut milk, and we have locally produced one and imported one, and the price margin was far high. Somebody was telling me that the locally produced one has a higher quotient of the coconut milk, and the imported one was more of water and sugar than milk. So when people are faced with buying, they say, why do we buy okrika? Majority of Nigerians are not buying imported brand new outfits. At all. Majority are still going to Katangwa and buying okrika. Yes. Why are they buying okrika?
It's more durable.
It's because it is cheaper and more durable. So why the real population is not elitist. The real Nigerians are buying.
Let's break down the conversation.
If we look at the numbers, it's the same thing. There's still that part of the numbers. It happened with the champagne. Many people, even though no matter how much they still put excise duties on that, people are still buying champagne. If you now look at the numbers of importation, how much is costing our economy? So we're saying, we agree with you
how much is
that there's a larger economy that probably doesn't even consume these things. But even the figure of the few that are consuming is heavy on the economy. So where do we now, where do we become sacrificial as the elitist within Nigeria?
People don't understand that heavy on the economy. Let me break it down. When they say heavy on the economy, it means that if Nigeria has $100,000 that comes in, they are going to have to use like 80,000 to satisfy the need, the elitist need of the 1%.
Yeah.
And we will now be leaving 20,000. Industries are suffering because they cannot access Forex. But we are still having Forex for champagne and some other things. So I get you. I totally get you.
That is because the government is the one giving them. No, wait now. They are the ones making the laws and allowing them have access to that dollars. If you say, we are going to give these dollars that we have limited amounts, we're going to give it to the local industries.
They do that.
No, hold on. Do you know how long to get that list?
They know you
It
cannot
takes
enter the
a long
list.
time to get that list. You cannot even enter that list. But the bosses in the offices will be the ones to say, okay, this person is big, that person is big. They are the ones paying school fees of their children. See, if we want to scatter this matter, even the religion self was borrowed.
Don't go there.
Our religion is borrowed.
Don't go there. Don't get
We
there.
should go back to our traditional, our ancestors.
Off the mic.
Can I say
Mike,
something?
please, Elijah.
So I like that.
Oh, I have to pause you. I have a
please
caller.
take a call.
Good morning. Hello, you there?
Let's go local.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, well, it's a very good conversation, but the question I want to ask you is, we're talking about supporting local goods and local manufacturers, but the question we should ask them is, do they have the capacity to give us quality? That's the first question. Now, let's look at the building last. How many foreign contractors have had issues of buildings that have collapsed in the past? But all the buildings that collapsed in the Lagos and Nigeria are done by local people. But yes, we are still saying we're promoting stuff. In the past, with my local cars that were built here, I'm not going to name the manufacturer. Within 2 weeks, the brake stopped working. We went back and we are like, this brake has failed and everything. They are like, the warranty, we give people warranty and everything. But the car he bought from Best or whatever it is that is outdated, the brakes are still working fine.
I can't really hear
what we
you.
should be
Can you
changing.
hear him? I'm having trouble hearing you, but did you
We're
hear?
not be able to produce quality.
The condition of
Yes.
people will not change until they change their ways. It's a Quranic verse and it's been tested everywhere.
This is a
It's
mind
like it's either we want better for ourselves or we want to
don't
remain
want
where we are.
the mentality.
And it's a mentality. And it's sad that we will defend it. And I want to correct up. The people who go to Kotagua to buy a Okrika, it's not because of funds. I know rich people who buy it because of class. They will pick first grade. They will dust it up and say when it looks better on their kids in the pictures.
They are not rich.
Stop, calm down.
They are not rich.
People.
They are not
Let
rich.
me tell you.
There are different grades of rich.
Hey, we are talking of
beg.
this class. What do you call
that
it?
one.
The middle class.
Middle class.
The middle class.
They are not rich.
They are not rich.
And then the ones we
The
need
rich
to
people,
develop our economy.
the rich people have set the standard by shopping abroad, taking their kids for summer, and then middle class will now go to Kotangwa. I beg, make it even
Look
nearer
like
and
foreign.
small.
Make it look foreign.
I don't think that's
See,
Let's not even go there. Let's not distract from that point.
You see, no, wait, stop it. I'm busy. Can
That's
I
not the
finish what
mentality.
I'm saying? That's the mentality.
No, that's not
that's
the
the honest
You
truth.
cannot sit on your side.
That's
and
the
say this is
mentality, BC.
I have been in that shoe before.
Wait
because
now.
I had bought wait now. Hold on. I go to the market and I buy local, and before I know it, some places have torn. You know, as the kids grow now, you are constantly going looking for money to buy clothes. So I said, okay, let me, send somebody to the Katangwa to go and shop. These ones will last me. They outgrow and they move to the next person.
Get clothes
It's
when
no,
no
hold on. It's not the mentality that
not get
I
clothes
want
when
my
no good
children.
thing.
Listen now, that I want my children to look a certain way. It's the fact that this is durable for me. This will last for them. They are able to wear and hand down, and I move on.
But if you consider
And I'm not using
how
my
it
salary to buy
affects the
clothes for my
Nigerian economy, the larger
Leave
picture.
Nigerian economy.
If you
Has the government
that's
considered me first?
No, so
Abeg,
that's what I'm saying. We all of us can just say the government is not considering me.
And we do say that BC top this
Now
top.
me talker.
So we got a house of BC top and short for my son.
Yes.
He looks good on it. He likes to wear it only when he's going for some casual outings. But when he wants to play ball, that he will do keep and scrape
But
on the
it's
floor.
expensive,
He
though,
will go and
compared
take
to
the
your
long
cheap
sleeve
China
one.
version.
Yes.
You consider it expensive. I consider it luxury and good for myself. And because it's produced here, it's an Ankara short. It has a look it gives me that makes me think, okay, I'm very African and I'm unapologetic.
But you see, my point is,
trying.
That's the mentality.
They have not addressed the
addressing-
point.
yeah.
No.
The point.
We are addressing durability. She said durability.
Yeah.
And I got the best, and I got the
Then let
best
me buy
quality.
from my hand.
Now,
You buy
that one
seven,
we still buy.
okay. Children are
Until we don't buy plenty.
Okay, guys.
You want counter?
Let's not get distracted.
Just a moment.
Let's not get distracted.
Because we water down the importance of this.
Please.
We cannot leave our people. It's an inferiority complex for generations. It's a wrong, and we used to call it colonial mentality, but where we are now, 2 girls in Ogun State, daughters of a pastor, were allowed people to go and allowed somebody, deceive them somewhere for their organs to be harvested. They were paid 150,000. What did they do? They bought a used iPhone. We can, but now something leads there. No, somebody has set the standard that if you don't show direction like this with an iPhone, you don't show direction like this, you're a poor person.
Let us.
And so the girls just want to show.
Wrap up, guys.
I think go this way, that way. That's
Tuesday.
We need to deal
and
with
it's our
it.
Health Tuesday, so we have to discuss health. So I have to wrap up. I know talking about it is only very important.
Sorry, my dad.
I give you 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let's not be distracted by the conversation. The point is, the Nigerian government has a responsibility to the Nigerian people.
Thank you.
Just as the Nigerian people have a responsibility.
And the Nigerian people have, yes.
Yeah.
And I was going to say that Nigerian government has a responsibility to Nigerian people, and the Nigerian people need to be loyal to the Nigerian government. Even if you don't like the person in power, be loyal to your country, regardless of who's in power.
We can end with that. That's all we can take on this segment. We'll come back. We're bringing our next guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us now on this segment is a wellness and lifestyle medicine expert and a consultant, motivational speaker, and author, a Nigerian American with over 16 years cumulative experience in healthcare, pharmaceutical manufacturing, industry, regulatory, community, and hospital pharmacy practice. She's the founder of Dr. Physique Global Health and Wellness Center. Welcome with us, Dr. Susanna Adams, to the show. Welcome. We usually celebrate women on Wednesdays, but you know, because you're in the health sector, we just thought to bring you on Tuesday. Maybe we can learn some things about health, lifestyle, lifestyle medicine. What does that mean, and how do we begin to preach lifestyle medicine to Nigerian women?
Okay, so the bottom line to lifestyle medicine is that even your very lifestyle should heal you. It's our contribution to the healthcare, because I found out that many people will just sit around believing we have money, maybe insurance, and there'll always be a medical doctor and a hospital to save your life. And maybe the government is not doing enough, etc. But we have a contribution to healthcare, and that in the very lifestyle that we choose to live and live consciously to make sure that we don't get sick.
So I was just asking about the preventive medicine and lifestyle modification. Majority of Nigerians are struggling to find basic things to eat. So when we're talking lifestyle modification, can we bring it down to the most basic kinds of practical things that each Nigerian can do that is affordable to make themselves on a healthier path?
Sure, definitely. And that's what I teach. Even before we established Dr. Physique Health and Wellness, I was preaching lifestyle medicine everywhere, preventive medicine. It starts from when you wake up in the morning and you call health to consciousness, like you bring up, say, okay, you know what, today is going to be a healthy and happy day. Even just verbalizing that, I think that one is free. Everybody can do that. Then 2, you have water by your bedside. You will shower outside, but did you shower the inside? Yes. Amazing. So you take your water, preferably warm water, so you can jumpstart your metabolism and then flush out the toxins from your system. And then, are you a breakfast person? If you're a breakfast person, then be consistent with your food. If you're not, be consistent with your lunch. But most importantly, when you get to eat, ask yourself, this food I'm eating, is it healing me or killing me? Yes. So is that consciousness? This is what everybody can start doing. And then your posture. Is your posture healing you or killing you? Because most people are going to end up here, now.
Sit up now.
Is your posture.
So, doctor, it was, in your profile that you were the first person to reverse type 1 and type 2 diabetes. How did you achieve that?
Okay. Actually, I can't claim that I'm the first person that reversed type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I think what is largely left out when diabetes is being treated is a lifestyle modification aspect. Okay. So when someone has diabetes and they show up to the Dr. Physique clinic, what I do is I bring in the lifestyle modification. You will exercise in front of me. You will drink that water. You will change your diet. We will give you a meal plan. So before you know it, the drugs start reducing, and before you know it, the sugar gets controlled, and then they don't have a need for the drug, because when they take the drug, the sugar will be too low. Well, how would you force the person to go back on the drugs? So these people call that reversal. Actually, medically, it's actually remission. Because if you go back to being, should I say stupid? Yes, because if you can escape this thing and then you go back, it can come back. So that's why we don't like the word too much of reversal, though the condition is reversed.
So let's talk about, because just before the show started today, we were talking about local foods and the diet. So whenever they give you a meal plan, you go to the market, you can't even pronounce the things written out for you. So what do you work with? Do you work with available foods that, you know, within localities of patients that you deal with?
100% available and natural food found in Nigeria and Africa. So that's the beauty of what we are trying to do. So when you come in, we ask you, what do you like eating? And then we have an idea of what you like eating. We already have all the food for your medical condition. Let's say your diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. Which food group in Nigeria will get you there? I mean, people go abroad and they bring foreign things like cheese and milk and what you cannot find, bacon. So we actually bring uzuza, greens, ugu, garden egg. You will eat garden egg until your mouth will be tired. You will hate cucumber on our diet. So we bring in the local content, and actually wellness is very cheap. Yes, it's very.
That's what we don't believe.
It's very, very cheap. It's when you want to go exotic, like instead of eating, let's say, plantain and vegetable, you want to go for kale and pomegranate. You know, meanwhile, you can get the same thing.
Even me can't pronounce.
You know now. So, meanwhile, you can get it from soursop. The same vitamin C content. So that's how. So it can be done if you really want to do it.
When you spoke about posture,
okay, go ahead.
Everybody sat up. Please help us understand. How does posture? How is our sitting reducing our health or improving our health?
Okay, so actually, when you sit, you know, some people sit like this.
My people.
And then you see your lungs are like compressed, and you get a minimum amount of oxygen into your system. That is number one. Then
sitting up
straight. Then the second one is that 70% of all directors and retirees that use straight to work, they have what they call spondylosis. Or some kind, maybe cervical spondylosis, some kind, because they've messed up their spine and the structure and the slip disc, and they suffer with pain till they die, except maybe to do a surgical correction. And all those could be prevented. I just completed MPH, that is Masters in Preventive and Promotional Medicine. And since then, I'm just a brand new person. And I have to kind of lead by example. Even the way I'm sitting, you can tell that I'm trying my best.
I took a relative to an orthopedic doctor, and he puts a iron chain somewhere, dragged her legs because he's trying to give her a posture back. How rigorous is the process to regain wellness if you lose posture, if you lose it over time?
So the most important thing is that don't lose it in the first place. Let's not worry about the people that have lost it.
Yeah, can we talk about, just give us a snippet of your book titled Everything Heals, everything like what, and what?
Okay. So when I moved back to Nigeria, you know, it was rough initially, and I thought, if something happens to me, why did I come back to my country to say I'm coming to help transform the healthcare sector of my nation? I thought, okay, let me write a book as God gives these messages to me. And I just heard that everything can heal you. So just as I was starting to talk before, ask yourself a question. As I'm sitting, is this sitting posture healing me? Now, water is medicine. We know it. But we don't take water medicinally. We take water when we eat or when we are thirsty, and by then there's already so much damages done in the body. Yes. So water heals. Okay, think about it. Your sleep heals you.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, it heals you completely. So
if you like too much sleep?
Yes, there's something like too much sleep. So the study shows that anything less than 3 to 4 hours, less than 3 to 4 consistently is as bad as 13 to 12 to 14 hours consistently for your age group.
Wow.
So there's a sleep requirement for infant, toddlers, and
Let
teenagers.
me ask you about food
etc.
again, because, I mean, we have little time left. People always complain about carbohydrates, too much carbohydrates, and most of our food seems to be carbohydrates. So when you say eating healthy is cheap, I'm thinking, yes, but they will tell you these things will make you big because carbohydrates convert to sugar. So we Africans, we run away from these too much carbohydrates. Please, could you tell us, should we keep running away from these carbohydrates or we should consume these carbohydrates?
Moderate it.
Our grandparents grew up on carbohydrate because they needed the energy to trek to church, to farm, to every single thing. So they burned those calories. You know, in lifestyle medicine, we say what you don't burn will burn you. Yes. So for example, if you have all those calories in your body and you don't burn them, it's going to turn to diabetes. And then you have to be on drugs for the rest of your life, risk amputation, blindness, complication, and death from diabetes. So when you, in lifestyle medicine and preventive medicine, you always go to the future and say, you know what, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to retire and replace my job with hospital visits. So then you just say, you know what, there's something I can do. This is my contribution to my healthcare. And then you now start adjusting. Okay, let's say you needed, when you're younger, you did 1,000 grams of carbohydrate. You're not burning it, you cut it down. So it's not elimination, it's reducing. And then I want to also add that most Nigerians don't know what is carbohydrate based on in our clinic. All the salad you eat is all carbohydrate. Beans, all carbohydrate. Yes, the vegetable, but yes, it's vegetable, but the majority high in carbs.
Miriam says some of those things and they confuse me because vegetable not supposed to be sugar.
Auntie, help us understand. So some of the leaves we eat actually have carbohydrates. So if we eat that, we don't need to eat all the carbohydrates. What you're saying?
Yes, you can replace your carbohydrate with
leaves.
With leaves.
It's not filling.
It doesn't have to feel.
It's not even exciting.
Okay, think about it.
Gauge
There's a thing in
You have to
Nigeria.
gauge.
You have to gauge.
You
Nigeria,
gauge
you
yam.
You gauge. How you not gauge?
So you can gauge with plantain. You can gauge with healthier choices. See,
Sweet potatoes.
I have friends that take 10 cubes of sugar and nothing is wrong with them. Go to the hospital, check. If you're fine, I can't change your lifestyle. But if this amount of carbohydrate is hurting you, then it's time to change. Then you look at your mom and your dad. Like my mom had diabetes, and now she's in her 80s. My dad still drives her around. They would have been gone.
Really?
Yes. But I just brought in, but that's my real story. That's how I
Do they
got
live in
here.
Nigeria?
Come again?
Do they live in Nigeria? Auntie.
You're saying,
Please leave that one. We know you're telling you, all these Japa people, they'll live there, they're not considered.
Not really. So let's
I'm not I'm just joking.
How affordable is consulting with you as a wellness, for a wellness plan? So if somebody is listening to them and wondering, okay, I love what she said, but how can I afford it?
No, I believe we are extremely affordable. You pay your minor consultation fee. I think we should not look at, I think wellness is cheaper than a funeral bill.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so let me bring it in another way. Many, obviously, you know, you've broken down a whole lot for us, checking the calories, checking our carbs, eating with intentionality of, is this thing going to make me better or
Heal me or kill me.
Heal me or kill me. I like that. But what would you say in your consultation you've seen is one of the worst choices that Nigerians make in terms of our food? Like you would say these are the 3 things that you must stay away from.
Okay.
And the 3 things you must eat.
Okay, so the 3 things you must eat is that, like in Benue State and a lot of places I've visited, the swallow is this size and the soup is like this. Like in Benue, they literally take the swallow, put it in the soup, shake it. No, even shake off the soup.
Wow.
And yes, I've seen that happen, and I think all my Benue people will support me there for the most part. There's even something called uka uka, where you literally just eat the swallow and pocket one small soup and keep doing your swallow. It's done in this country. So what we can reverse is increase your vegetable and soup okra portion and shrink your swallow. So that's one thing you can do. 2, drink your water whether or not you're thirsty. Even going on a 1 to 3 day fasting is enough to clean your body and, yes, clear your dead cells and make you
What
refreshed.
does fasting mean to you? Like you eat break at 6 and eat normal food? Or
No
No,
food.
fasting to me means 24 hours.
You're not eating anything?
Yes, just stay on water. You will not be hungry. Because the first time I tried it, I thought I was going to die. Like, will I wake up tomorrow? But when I went all the way to 10 days, I realized that anybody can do 3 days.
10 days?
Yes, I did.
Just water?
Just water.
Auntie, yeah, try
What
it.
was the
Anyway,
result?
we have to wrap, unfortunately.
Good
but
health.
but
It
it's
was
important
good health.
It's important for us to just let you wrap up on lifestyle medicine. Why is lifestyle medicine in a nutshell? So we wrap up.
Okay, so why lifestyle medicine in a nutshell is because in Nigeria, as I see it, when we try to open Dr. Physique, they wouldn't open us, they wouldn't allow us to open because they said you're either going to open it as alternative or as orthodox. And Ministry of Health has data that shows that 80% of Nigerians, we are doing some form of lifestyle medicine misguided. So we now teamed up, we have about 100 staff strength, mostly consultants.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up. That's all we
Yes.
can
Out of
do. We can always share more of your details on
Social media, they'll follow you from
I
online.
think one of the things that why this show exists also is to help Nigerians, especially those of you that have jackpot, to come to Nigeria and are fixing.
I did not
No, I'm just
jackpot.
saying, when I say jackpot, just saying someone that traveled, to come and help solve. So those of you solving problems, we will give you a platform to show what you're doing. Because part of what we want to do is embrace Nigerians, both home and abroad. Everybody who is solving problems, we'll definitely give you a platform.
But
to
she
do
read
that. So thank you
books,
so much.
I feel that we should just start from where we are. That is all.
That is all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.